Hi all, Karthik here from Design School by Wpalgoridm. In this video, we'll talk about the way to style the form amount field using the CSS. If you didn't watch the video on the form amount field where the amount can be calculated based on the formula that you have, made a video on that. Link to that will be in the description. But the amount field provided by the dynamic content plugin looks something like this. It looks kind of grayed out and it's not really visible. I'll actually change the label to amount as well. I'll update this. So it looks something like this and it's not clearly readable. And let's see how we can style this by using CSS. So in order to style it, we'll just inspect this field first. I'll right click, I'll click on inspect, and that will open up the field, and you can see it's an input field of type text, but it has an additional attribute called disabled. So we'll use this attribute to target this particular field. So if I remove disabled from here and if I edit it, you can see that it would look like any other field. But anyway, we'll just refresh this page. So the way to target this field is by using the input attribute called disabled. So I'll click on this form. Let's give this a name of maybe my form. You can give it any unique name. So once you give this form a name of my form, if you have Elementor Pro version 2.9, you can click on the hamburger menu, go to theme styles and go to custom CSS, and here you can put all your custom CSS. So that's my custom CSS for header, and here I'll put custom CSS for form amount field styling. Let's see how that works. So we'll just say the class name of the form, which is dot my form. If you put that in the same section, you'd say selector. Since we're putting it in the theme styles interface, I'll say my form space form, which targets the form element as a whole, and then within that I'm targeting input of type or input that has an attribute disabled. So let's see, I'll add a background color to it, maybe blue, and you can see the background color of the amount field being changed, but the opacity is a bit different here, so we need to edit opacity as well. We'll also change the color of the text within here, so I'll add color. I'll say white. I think that would stand out. Opacity, I'll just change it to 0.9, and you can see that clearly here. You can change this to any color you want. Let's also add a border radius just for this field. I'll say border radius. I'll leave this code in the description. Don't worry about that. 10 pixels, 10 pixels. So we'll just make the amount field a bit stand out. You can also align the text within. I'll say text align, and I'll say center, and the amount field is aligned onto the center. You can make the text a bit bigger. So I'll just say font size 20 pixels, or maybe make it 30 pixels so that the amount field is clearly visible to the client. 30 pixels is too big, we'll just make it 25 pixels. Okay, just type the value that you want. I'll just keep it at 22 pixels. I'll publish this. Since we're adding it to the theme style, it will get added to the every page at a theme level. Even if we change themes, it won't be affected. Now let's click on preview, and just like that, the amount field is affected. Or let's actually take the custom CSS from theme styles. I'll disable theme styles now. I've shown you how to disable theme styles. Right click, click on the settings cog, change the status to disabled, click on this arrow, click on save draft. We can exit this. I'll refresh this page once. I'll put custom CSS within the form itself, or you can put it anywhere on the page. I'll click on the form, go to advanced, custom CSS, paste it. So that would look something like that. I'll update it and click on preview changes. Now that I've disabled theme styles, you can see the form amount. All the code that we entered to the amount field is properly formatted. So based on the number of pages, this changes. So let's say I put 100 here. So that's a quick way to style the amount field provided by the dynamic content for Elementor plugin. Well, this actually integrates into your Elementor Pro form, so that's really handy, and being able to style it the way you want is really cool. I'll leave the CSS code in the description. It's quite simple. You have to target it with the attribute selector, which is this. First you say your form name. You can also say selector, as you've pasted this within the form itself. even that won't be affected. You can see that from here. Even if I say selector, it will exactly be the same. Or I can simply replace selector with dot class name and put the code within any section, any column, or even in theme styles interface. But since theme styles affects all the form fields, we'll get a hybrid styling. If you just want to style the form field, just use the css, put it in under the form. That would easily do. You can also replace this with class name and put it in customizer area. Anyway, just make your amount field a bit stand out. You can remove any of the properties that you don't need. You can also add any of them that you need. You can also add a background gradient to this. So instead of saying a plain background, you can say linear gradient, something like that. You can specify an angle here. So you can have a gradient as a background for the amount field as well. Once you've targeted the field, you can basically put any properties that you want by using css, but I think these would be enough. You can also change font family if you wish to. Based on your requirement, just change it. Just style the form fields, change the color, change the size and all that. But I think this would be enough. Just replace background with any color or gradient or even a radial gradient that you want. That would make this a bit stand out. I think black looks better. That's it for now. Check out the code in the description. This is how you style amount field of the dynamic content plugin, which is provided to the Elementor Pro form. I'll talk to you in the next one. Until then, peace.